Hello YouTubers, Manny here from Manny's How To Workshop with a video on how to troubleshoot a cylinder 1 misfire on this 2015 Chrysler Town & Country. And I think this is the LX model. But anyway, so my neighbor asked me if I could take a look at this for him. And like I said, I put my, what do you call it? Code reader on it. This Autel MaxiCom, not a sponsor by the way, and I was able to pull up, like I said, the P0301 code. And so of course, you know, you focus on the number 1 cylinder, which for this configuration engine, this is your number 1, number 2, number 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, so that's bank, I believe that's bank 1 and bank 2. So the only other codes that was on there was that, like I said, the Misfire. So what I did, and fortunately with that scanner that I have, you can go in and select the not control section, but the monitoring one, where you can select the misfire count for each cylinder. And I did that, and sure enough, the number 1 was just like every half second it was climbing. You know what I'm saying? And I double checked it a couple of times just to make sure. And then so my next thing to do was, since it was, you know, always on number 1, I said, well, let me switch out the number 1 and number 3 or number 5, because that was more accessible, meaning these coil packs here. And there's the number 1 coil pack, number 3 and number 5 right there. I said, let me swap them, just to make sure, or to rule out that the coil pack is bad. So when I switched the number 1 to number 5, the misfire still stayed on number 1. It didn't change. Now I know that for a fact that we had checked the spark plug previously to this, and the spark plugs, all of them are brand new, so that's not the issue. And so the next thing is, well, you would go to the fuel injectors to check those. And in this vehicle, you can see the fuel injectors right there. Let's see if I can get a... Oh, my hand was in the way. Anyway, it's one right there. There's another one right there. And then there's another one right over there. And in the back, there's one here. There's one there. And there's one here. So what I'm going to do is show you the differences of what the resistance value is for these guys. And right now this car has not been running. It's normal ambient temperature, which right now in Brandon, Florida, it's about 85 degrees. So I scoured the internet, YouTube, Google, trying to find out what is the actual resistance value that these are, what they should be when they're brand new. And the closest I came that I could piece together from other videos was that it should be somewhere around 12.5 ohms. And I was like, okay, well, worst comes to worst, we'll just replace them all. But I don't like to throw the parts can in at any troubleshooting issue or fix rather. So I said, we got to isolate it. And like I said, I zoned it right down to the fuel injectors. And I'm going to go ahead and set this up for you, and I'm going to show you what I found as far as values between 1, 3, 5, 4, 2, 4, and 6. Okay, and to spare you all of that, I'm just going to tell you that 3 out of the 6 are good, and the other 3 is bad. And here's the reason why. All right. So let me pause you guys here for a second, set this up, and I'll show you. Okay guys, so this is the number 1 cylinder resistance right now. It is 102.3, and freaking clear, but you can see that's 102.3. okay, and now I'm going to show you what number 5 looks like. Okay guys, here's number 5, 12.4. Okay, and remember the nominal or average was 12.5, 12.6. And now I'm going to show you another one. Okay guys, this one is the number 2, As you can see, I have it connected right there, and there's your value, 17. Okay, which is out of range, but it's not too high out of range. And I'm going to show you the number 3 also. Alright guys, you can see I'm hooked up to the number 3, and there's my value, 130.4.3, somewhere around there. Okay, so clearly the number 1, number 3 is gone, whereas 5 and 2 is starting to go, and then of course 4 and 6. And let me show you that here in a second. Let me just put you over here. Okay, I'm just gonna go ahead and disconnect. Let's see if I can get to number 4. Now with this little harness in the way, it might be a little bit difficult. Let's see if I can get it on there. Yeah. Okay. Move that over to the side. Okay. All right, guys, and that is the number 4. You see number 4, 12.5, 12.6. So this number 4 and number 6, I'm going to keep those, or have them keep them as a spare. That way, in the future, if any one of these goes, he'll always have a spare. And now I'm going to show you what a new one looks like straight out of the box. Okay guys, so this is a new one straight out of the box, and there's the value right there, 12.5, 12.6. You know, going up and down due to temperature. And I got this actually from AutoZone, once again, not a sponsor. And this is the 6-pack, meaning there were 6 of them that came in here. So the owner decided to go ahead and just change them out completely. This is the part number right there for the 6-pack, and let's see, the 80524B, is that the same number? No, I think this is the part number if you were to buy it individually. Okay, once again, not a sponsor, but that right there is proof that the misfire that we had in the number 1 cylinder right there, which is right here, which is this guy, was definitely whacked out. Now you're saying, if number 3 and 1 are showing the same resistance, how come the misfire didn't show up in number 3? Good question. Because technically it should have, since like I said, that those 2 fuel injectors are not working like they should. And like I said, when the car is running on the idle, the steering wheel vibrates so much that clearly you can tell that there's a misfire. All right, so my next procedure is to go ahead and depressurize the system, because I'm gonna have to lift up this fuel rail here, right here, that actually comes around and feeds this one. Is 2 screws, Torx screws, and it looks like a maybe a T20, T25. But first you just have to get to the fuse box and remove the fuse and the relay that you should just be able to remove the fuse, but you also remove the relay that actually controls the fuel pump. That way it depressurizes the system, because when you come and disconnect this connector here, once I disconnect, I'm going to put some rags down there to catch the little residual fuel that's going to come out. Because in order to get these fuel injectors out, yeah, you got to disconnect that, take out the 4 screws right there, and gently lift them, up little by little, just rocking them out, because they're in the well, and you saw the O-rings that hold it in place is right there. Now, if the fuel rail pops off the top, that'll make it easier, because I can just lift it all up completely. Obviously there's going to be a fuel in there, and then come back with a pair of pliers and then gingerly just wiggle these out. When you put these back, make sure you put a little bit of fuel on the O-rings before you pop them back in, so they're not going in dry. And hopefully this is going to take care of his issue. And like I said, we didn't want to do the parts scanning on it, but I'm pretty confident that this will take care of that number one cylinder misfire, and hopefully this thing will run like it should, because he was driving along and said that after 40 miles an hour it wouldn't go anywhere. And I think that's the default anyway for the system. If it's running that rough, it's going to default back to limp mode. Alright guys, as always, thanks for watching. Please rate, comment, subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so, and click the the bell notification button to be notified when I upload new videos. Alright, please like and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.